Hello, welcome to Doors to Hope and Healing, an inside look at foster care and adoption needs in Connecticut. My name is Jacqueline Ford, and I am humbled and honored to have worked for the Department of Children and Families for over 25 years. And although I may be familiar with many of the topics I bring you, I am inviting experts in those fields to share their knowledge. On the screen is Ken Meiseglan, Bureau Chief of External Affairs, and he's explaining to our audience what will be happening at the press conference. The Department of Children and Families works diligently to improve the performance and safety of our child welfare professionals. On a daily basis, our staff enter unpredictable environments in order to protect and defend our most vulnerable population, which is the children of Connecticut. In recognition of Child Abuse Prevention Month, DCF held a press conference at Veterans Affairs in Rocky Hill, inviting the community, through the support of our media, to view and experience the simulation lab. The press conference offered media and community providers the opportunity to view the lab as well as training simulations. I now invite you to join our press conference.
I want to thank Senator Lesser for being here as well and his support not only for this agency but for others as we carry out these missions. And to the role players that are here from Favor. And it is key in that training to have those public-private partnerships, which is what we will continue to do here at the Department of Veterans Affairs. And we wish you the best of luck in the training for the protection and safety of our children. And now it's my honor to introduce our not new commissioner anymore, the Commissioner of the Department of Children and Families, Vanessa Director. Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Sadi, and particularly because I'm also the mom of twins. And so when we think about ourselves as professionals in this work, that's what drives what we do. I thank you so much for the welcome and the introduction. Thank you to the media outlets present. We are fortunate to have you as a partner in making Connecticut a safer state for all children and families. We also want to thank the Connecticut Department CSSD, which is the Court Support Services Division. Their training actually also happens here on the grounds of Veterans Affairs, and it was their kind of brainchild to partner with our Workforce Academy at the Department of Children and Families to consider doing simulation labs here. We also like to thank everyone here for giving the support to the department as we started to build these simulation labs as part of our workforce development initiative. We have several other wonderful partners here with us today. First, you will hear from Faith Boswinkle, who is the Assistant Child Advocate, and we thank her for joining us today. The Office of the Child Advocate is always pushing to make the department better and the state better for children and families. It is a valuable role that we respect greatly. The Office of the Child Advocate and the Department of Children and Families share the exact same goal of improving the lives of Connecticut's children and families. We work together to fully realize what that goal will really mean. So without further ado, I will introduce Faith Boswinkle from the Office of the Child Advocate.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Our missions are the same. This is Child Abuse Prevention Month. But every day in our state, our community partners, our state agencies, our medical professionals, and others make a very concerted effort daily to keep our children safe. Each year, infants, children under the age of 12 months, die unnecessarily in Connecticut because their sleep environment poses such a great risk to them that they die. We lose, on average, a classroom size of children every year just to safe sleep issues. From 2013 through 2018, we lost 123 infants, only from sleep-related deaths. That doesn't include any other ways that children die. There are 6 simple things that families can do. I call it the ABCs of keeping infants safe. A, always close to you, but never together in the same sleep environment. B, babies are always on their back to sleep. C, clear your baby's sleep environment. Nothing but them in the crib, or bassinet, or pack and play. D, don't overheat or overdress your baby. Babies dress the same way we do. E, your environment needs to be safe from smoke and other things that pose a risk. And finally, the F in our ABCs. find your support system to help you get some rest. We know more and more through brain science that we all need, you know, a good night's sleep. We're not functioning if we don't have that. We need parents to have that. You know, I just can't stress enough, Ken had said earlier, vulnerable. These are our most vulnerable children. If you look across the 17 years that the Child Fatality Review Panel looks at, there is no other cohort of children that die the way infants do. So I appreciate everybody coming today to see this simulation, to getting the message out there that safe sleep, we can affect change in this state and have no babies die in their sleep environment. Thank you, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, Faith. Your commitment is matched only by your expertise in this area, so we thank you very much. I'm also excited to add that the Office of Early Childhood is a staunch partner in all of this. Commissioner Beth Bai is a former state senator who played a huge role in shaping public policy related to children, so we wanted to publicly acknowledge the Office of Early Childhood also as a partner in this. I'd also like to introduce right now Senator Matt Lesser, who is a tireless supporter of Connecticut's children and families, to come and give us a few words. Senator Lesser.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Commissioner Durantis, and thank you to Commissioner Sadi as well, and to the Office of the Child Advocate, important partners and stakeholders. As Rocky Hill State Senator, I'm thrilled that this partnership is going on in our community, making sure that we're maximizing state resources, making sure that we're all working together to accomplish this important goal. 123 children, if I heard you correctly from the Office of Child Advocate, that's 123 children too many that we've lost to unsafe sleeping conditions, and this month, Child Abuse Prevention Month, it is so important that we do everything we can to protect every single child in the state of Connecticut. I'm also thrilled to get to know a little bit more about Favor and the work that's going on as well. But here in Rocky Hill, we understand how important it is to protect every single child, and I'm glad our state agencies are working collaboratively together, and happy to be a partner as well in the Connecticut General Assembly. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So I have to extend a great big thank you to Beresford Wilson, who is the Executive Director of Favor, and to the staff of Favor for being the backbone of this initiative. Favor is a fantastic partner to the Department of Children and Families, advocating for families, which in turn makes our work as an agency so much more effective. Favor provides us with family voice that we need to listen and learn so that we can serve them better. We can only help families become stronger if we listen to what they say, hear what they need, and hear what they want. Families have a voice, but we must listen for us to be effective. Favor gives us that voice at all levels of our work, and I'm very grateful to have this partnership. So let me pivot to what brings us here today. The critical part of Favor, the critical part that Favor plays in this. April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. We thought this would be a great place to conduct some of our public education about preventing deaths and serious injuries of infants, in particular about practicing safe sleep at all times. We use the simulation labs to train our new social workers at the Department of Children and Families and how to interact with families in an effective and respectful way. Favor provides staff, almost all with their own lived experience or personal histories with the department or other service systems, to play the role of family members and simulate the challenging work our staff are required to conduct daily. So without further ado, I will introduce Beresford Wilson, the Executive Director of Favor.
Thank you, Commissioner Durantis. First of all, like Commissioner said, Favor is an organization, a statewide multicultural family support organization, whose staff consists of 98% parents with lived experience. And when you hear the commissioner and other commissioners and other state agencies talk about partnership, we define partnership as shared authority and shared responsibility. Imagine that, a novel idea that parents have the same authority and the same responsibility as the mandate that DCF has and other organizations have, such as the Office of the Child Advocate. That is that we want the best experience and the best outcomes for our families and our children. And this exercise is an example of the commitment that the State Department of Children and Families and Vanessa and her staff have to the families of Connecticut. We think that is so important. So we've been called actors in this exercise before. I'd rather say that, you know, we are living examples of what families go through every day. Each example is different and each response is different. But working as partners, I think we set families up for better outcomes. We also believe that family engagement is a phrase that goes across systems today, but we want to step it up one step higher. We talk about families and children being fully employed in the process. That means they have ownership for the mandate that DCF has, the direction that we're going in, and that they are full partners in this process. This is not you know, anything that comes out of, you know, great institutes of academia. This is best practice. This is what we know works for families. And more than anything, more than any accolade that's behind my name, being a parent is the most important thing that I bring to this work. And my staff, they're just committed to this. We know through experience that a parent in a family that is educated, a family that is informed on what the next steps will be, what's going to happen next to their family in any situation, is a family that's going to come out with better outcomes. And with that, I'll turn it back over to
Thank you so much, Beresford and Favor, for your partnership. And true partnership means collaboration, as what was just described. The simulations that you will see involve families struggling with various issues of mental health, domestic violence, physical abuse, and other challenges that impact their ability to parent sometimes. We also have training in our sim labs which depict work within juvenile courts, on buses and car seats, and other types of simulations that help prepare workers for this field of social work. One of the role-playing scenarios that you'll see here today involves a family with an infant and a social worker who will be expected to talk to the mom, a victim of intimate partner violence, or more commonly known as domestic violence, about safe sleep. The important piece of this is that after the simulation, trainers from our Workforce Academy and Favor staff provide feedback on the performance of the staff in the lab. They will identify what strengths they saw, what the social workers did well, but also talk about what challenges and things that our workers can focus on to more effectively engage families and address their needs to support the family while raising their children. This is important because it can be really hard to engage families in a situation when we're responding to a report made by our care line. Not many families want the government to send someone into their homes to assess how they're caring for their children. But I know from my own experience as a social worker, I started with the department in 1992, that if we treat families with respect, if we listen to what they're saying, we can engage in a conversation that will help the family become stronger and more capable, because they are the experts in their own lives. That will result in children who are safer, happier, and likely to thrive throughout their development. This is what the sim labs are all about. The simulation involves an infant, and particularly noteworthy as we recognize Child Abuse Prevention Month, because the strongest risk factor for being a victim of child maltreatment fatality is age. Children under the age of 1 are at the greatest risk of being killed. According to the data from the federal government, 44% of child maltreatment fatalities are suffered to children under the age of 1. Another 32.5% are between the ages of 1 and 3 years old. We know from our own studies here in Connecticut, but it is true nationally, that unsafe sleep environments are found commonly in these tragedies. According to the Center for Disease Control, approximately 3,500 infants die annually in the United States in unsafe sleep environments. These conditions are often outside of the bed. These deaths include those from sudden unexplained infant death syndrome, accidental suffocation in a bed, and other infant apparatuses. Unsafe sleep conditions are common. The CDC found in the most recent national survey that more than 1 in 5, or 21% survey respondents, say they place their child on the baby's side or stomach to sleep. More than 3 in 5, 60%, reported bed sharing with their infant. Nearly 2 in 5, 38% reported using soft bedding such as commonly used bumper pads and thick blankets. All of these practices can be dangerous and can be deadly. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that parents create a safe sleep environment for infants by placing infants on their back to sleep, using a firm sleep surface such as a mattress, room sharing without bed sharing, and by avoiding safe bedding such as blankets, pillows, or bumper pads. This is a national problem, but Connecticut has what it takes to address it right here. While the Annie E. Casey Foundation recently found that Connecticut has the second lowest death rate in the country, we still know of the unsafe sleep deaths that were reported here today between 2011 and 2018. A few years ago, in 2015, our research office released a study that found unsafe sleep was related to the death in 33.9% of fatalities that occurred over an 8-year period ending in 2014. In 40% of the SIDS cases, unsafe sleep was also a factor. In 23% of the cases, a child was sleeping in a bed with an adult. We have taken steps to address this. For several years now, we explicitly require the Department of Children and Family social workers talk to caretakers of infants, of very young children, about their safe sleep practices every time they go into a home. Sadly, it's not as easy as just talking to a family about safe sleep and the problem is fixed. We have seen unsafe sleep tragedies when the documentation is very clear that we have spoken to the family multiple times. So the quality of that discussion and engagement with the family is critical as to why the sim labs are so valuable. Similarly, it's important that we do everything we can do to educate the public while we are here today about safe sleep. So we greatly appreciate the news media's interest in getting the word out, and at this time we will go and watch one of the simulation trainings occur.
The lab is designed to support the learning and training experiences of child welfare professionals on issues such as worker safety, interview techniques, and communication techniques. A nonprofit Wethersfield-based group called Favor Incorporated, which works to empower families as advocates for children, partners with DCF to do these trainings. Through interaction with trained actors who are actually Favor Incorporated staff who have lived the experience of having an open DCF case, are immersed in realistic, interactive environments while maintaining a safe learning experience. Simulations can set up and include various relationships and interactions such as family interviews, child and adult protection investigations, and assessments. The training experience also offers peer-to-peer review, debriefing, and processing that learning experience to ensure a true understanding of roles and responsibilities and continued growth. In this live training simulation, a DCF social worker trainee is assessing the safety and well-being of a teen who is having a difficulty in his school and with community ties. He is working with the birth mom to assess the child's needs and family needs.
But they said, give it another try, we'll put supports in here, but Kevin, I can't. I just can't with him. He's all over the place.
So that's why I'm here. That's why the department thinks it's best if I were to come in. Maybe we can figure out how we can keep you and Kevin together, how you guys can work together to benefit in the long run, because we do want to see his future success.
Kevin doesn't listen to anybody. Look, I'm telling you, Kevin does not listen to anybody. He doesn't go to school. He's not coming home. Sometimes he's here, sometimes he's not. I mean, his aunts and uncles, they've all tried to support him, and he's pushing people away. Right. For just no reason. He's pushing people away.
Right. Now, what changes in his career? What arose from that? Because I know that from what I have, my understanding is he loves sports. He was very active in the community at one point. So help me understand where he went wrong. What changed?
I couldn't tell you what changed. I really could not tell you. He was active in sports. He was giving us good grades. I mean, him and his father were very, very close. And now Kevin he's out with new friends. I don't know what his friends are, He'll call and I'll say, Kevin, where you at? At so-and-so's house. Well, I don't know who so-and-so is. I don't know who so-and-so's mama is. I don't know any of that. And then when you try to ask Kevin something, Mom, you're all in my business. Mom,
Right.
So I'm not getting anything. I can't even get him to take out the garbage, let alone sometimes clean his room. If I don't go in there and clean it, it will stay a mess for days.
Right. Now, I want to dial back a little bit. You did say he was very close to his father. I know it had to be a tough time 2 years ago, but he did lose his father. So did the behavior start around that time? And maybe we can work on ways to build off that, and we can go back to that strong relationship, go back to the sports, the community ties, and maybe we can find some resources, some sort of program that can help benefit him get back on track.
In this live training simulation, a DCF social worker trainee is educating a new mom on safe sleep for her newborn baby. She is making an assessment and providing suggestions and educating this new mom. DCF is committed to ensuring the safety and well-being of Connecticut's children by working systematically to support and to train our staff for best case practice. The simulation lab affords them the opportunity to do just that. In an interactive training, it allows for real-life experiences to occur in a safe and structured setting with observation and immediate constructive feedback. Each family situation in Connecticut is unique. The simulation laboratory work is so valuable because it dedicates that learning experience to our social work trainee staff. This innovative approach to learning will only enhance the department's quality of engagement with our families.
A little bit about what you know about it. I mean, we want the kids to be safe, but what does safe sleep look like?
Well, first, when I put her to bed, she sleeps on her back because,
Good.
you know, on their stomach, they're too small. They can't lift their heads.
Right.
They can suffocate. If there's something in there, you know, babies like to grab and hold.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And what about the blankets? Do you sleep with, I know she's covered now, but you're holding her, so what about?
She has her onesie on, so, you know, the heat is pretty good, so I don't have to cover her up.
So it seems like you're pretty aware, but do you mind if I just review some safe sleep strategies with you, kind of just to reiterate everything that you know already? Okay, so you got the first step is having a crib for the baby. And so kind of like what we covered is to just have a flat fitted sheet in there, so no heavy blankets or pillows or anything that could possibly suffocate the baby. Unfortunately, a lot of infants suffer fatalities or injuries due to unsafe sleeping conditions, so that's why I just wanted to reiterate to you. And you kind of had it, you said having the baby sleep on the back, which is another good step. Not letting anyone smoke around your baby. And
Smokers.
you said that she sleeps in her onesie, so she's properly dressed, right? So I know you said that you're doing laundry, but do you mind if I just kind of take the stuff out of the crib just to ensure that it's... I know it's a lot, but don't worry, I can do it for you since you have the baby.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
And now I invite you to meet Missy. Missy is a teen in foster care who is looking for her forever family. Thank you for watching.
I used to like to roller skate. I still do, but I'm kind of scared to do it on my own. I ice skate. I like to go to amusement parks. Even though I'm scared of heights, I still go on roller coasters. I want to be a pediatrician because I like kids, but I'm kind of leaning on the side where I want to be an FBI agent. My favorite subject in school is math. I do well in all subjects, but my favorite subject out of that is math. And my favorite specials, which are basically like gym, art, music. Mine has to be art because I'm an art person. Being Puerto Rican is important to me because it makes me who I am. I'm bilingual, but I can understand Spanish more than I speak Spanish. I like Puerto Rican music, but I'm more of a hip-hop person. I like animals because they're cute and cuddly. It's kind of like therapeutic. I was sad one day and my cat Poochie, I was crying and he came, I was like this and he came under me and he cheered me up. The type of family that I like, it really doesn't matter if it's mom, dad, mom, dad. I would like to stay connected with my siblings. What I'm basically looking for is a loving, giving, and supportive home, and if I get that, I give it back. What makes me special is my personality and just how I'm caring, and I give people a bunch of chances. No matter what you do, I will still give you a chance. The nicest thing that somebody said to me is that I'm beautiful just the way I am.